Welcome back to Skyrocket Automotive. This classic Mini Clubman has been off the road for 6 years. It's been owned by the same family since brand new, going down from generation to generation. It's now time for it to get passed down to the next generation so they can learn to drive. Join us as we get this beautiful old car up and running so that it can go home and have a lot more new adventures with its new owner. I really like these. I actually really like the front end treatment. I think they're the best looking classic Mini, personally. There's a box of bits in here. I've had a look. There's a fuse box. Great, British Leyland wiring, my favourite. Master cylinder. There are wheel nuts. It's got some cracking little wheels on it, but they don't have the right wheel nuts on them at the moment. There's a set of those in there. So that's what we know from looking in the box of bits. Let's have a look, shall we? Huh. Hello? Is anybody in there? Okay, something's been living in here. Awesome. So probably job one's going to be hoover the engine bay. Don't you hoover your engine bay? I hoover my engine bay. What do you mean? Oh, you've got a laminate engine bay. I see, so you just have to mop yours. Gotcha, fair enough. I've still got a carpeted engine bay. I know it's a very 70s thing, but I like the way it feels underfoot. Let's have a look at the cooling system, because it's the easiest bit to get to on here. Oh, empty. Okay, gonna pretend I didn't see that for the time being. I would take the airbox off and examine the air filter, but there's a house in it. Yeah, just looks like a genuine unmolested Clubman, really. What's our fan belt looking like? Fan belt actually looks pretty good. All right, fine and dandy. We have an engine. It's an A series. I don't know what more you need to know about that, really. All right, let's have a look inside. British Leyland, so it's got 4 keys. And all those 4 keys go in very specific directions, and if you don't, then the correct key doesn't work. So you feel like you've got the wrong key. You want to put the keys in upside down on this. Oh, that's not bad. Okay. May as well begin the process. That carpet is horrific. I'm not here to take the mickey out of the car. Obviously it's been sitting for a long time and it may have a little leak, but the carpet's grim. So we're gonna have to do something with that. Probably as a first port of call, because I don't feel like breathing in the spores that are gonna waft up out of the carpet when I put my feet on it. I'll tell you what though, the interior is clean. It's not clean, it's not ripped is what I mean. It's a nice original interior. It actually looks in pretty good order. It's been full of water at some point. There's a tide line, which I don't think you're supposed to have in a car. Hang on, I think this might have been the year that came with the tide line. That's it, that's a revision 2. The revision 1s didn't have a tide line in the carpet. Headliner looks nice, it just needs a clean. It's not torn or overly gross. Sun visor's got a little bit of mold spotting, nothing to panic about. This will clean up. We've definitely got a leak to the rear. I think that's what's warped those door cards. All in all, pretty good. I can't feel any rot in the inner sill on this side. The chaps around the back mentioned to me, it's actually a solid car, just needs some love. So what we're going to do, we're going to get this good enough, reliable enough and safe enough for it to be driven home where it lives, which is quite a way away. And then they're going to worry about the bodywork their end, which is exactly what I like. There's nothing better to me than not having to weld. Fun project or an absolute nightmare. There's no way to know with old stuff. It's either a pleasure to work on or a nightmare. It's nothing to do with British Leyland. You just come across some vehicles that are really, really, really hard to work on and other vehicles that just want to go back on the road and cooperate. Wouldn't that be nice, Elvin, eh? I know you can hear me in there. Let's crack on. All right, we're up on battery mounting. This battery was brand new a year ago. It's been left connected, so it's totally dead. But the battery boiler seems quite happy. It's rolled its way back down to 2 amps, 14.4 volts. Spare parts day. I always feel like I'm opening somebody else's Christmas presents when they aren't for me. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah, man. We've got quite a nice assortment. So we have ADU 9102 FK. That looks like a heater valve gasket and stud set to me. Yeah. Look, because there's our heater valve, nicely prepared. Gasket, quite a stout gasket. That might be for master cylinder. Right, I'm definitely going to forget that's there in a minute. Cut my finger most of the way off. Very nice, right. Oh, free sauce. Yeah, so that guy goes over there. That's a nice part. All right, that is not looking like it's going to be too brutal to change, actually. Just the one line. We'll compare it on the car, obviously. Does mean we're going to have to get down into that carpet to disconnect this guy from the pedal, though. I think this might be our fuse box. Yeah, lovely. Never did find out what's actually wrong with the existing fuse box, but they've diagnosed it. I'm inclined to trust those guys. I've never known them be wrong. Cool, set of leads, plugs. So it looks like we're doing an ignition service. I see the Prince of Darkness himself, so I presume there's going to be probably a coil in here or a distributor. Too small for a distributor. Yeah, coil. Nice. Righto. Yeah, so we're going to be doing an ignition system service. That's good. A 710 filter and some oil. We've got a nice little outline of what we need to do then, haven't we? So we'll ignore the ignition system just for a moment. We don't want to introduce any running problems that the car didn't have before. We'll get it running, then we'll do the ignition system to improve the running. What I don't want to be doing is fitting a duff coil and then being like, why won't it start? Is it carburetor? Blah, 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 blah. You know the deal. We don't scattergun things at Skyrocket, as you know. Right. So, choice time. Master cylinder first or fuse box first? Let me know in the comments. I mean, I'm gonna press on anyway, but I'll tell you what, if you wanna see the master cylinder first, go to this timestamp. If you wanna see the fuse box first, go to this timestamp. Choose your own adventure. Let's take a look at our master cylinder then. First port of call with this master cylinder, I wanna bench bleed it. I'm going to pour a little fluid in the actual spout so that when it pushes the air out and I let off the rod, it pulls brake fluid back in. Right, happy days. We've got no air at all now. Now we can go and start the really enjoyable bit, which is getting the old one out of the car.
I love the fact that the first tool I put on this car is a hoover. Thankfully it didn't smell as bad as it looked. Once I got the worst of the seeds and foam out of the way, I wrestled the airbox off and laid eyes on that clutch master cylinder for the first time. The first job was to undo the hard line.
That line's knackered.
Which should have been an omen as to how the rest of this job was going to go. Everything in this area was just clean enough to give you confidence and just seized enough to make you question life itself. Buckle up folks, it's going to be a bumpy ride and not just for my knuckles. There's almost no room to get at all on that nut, as any Mini enthusiast will testify, and this one in particular was a lump of damp rust. Still, I'm sure this is the last time anything's going to go wrong with this part of the job, right? Right?
You know that old chestnut about a 10-minute job being one rounded fastener away from turning into a 2-hour job? Yeah, this is an actual real-world case of that. The stud at the back, typically that one, not this guy, right at the back, I've literally spent the last hour and a half to 2 hours on this one nut, and I've spent that entire time just begging it to snap, because at least if it snapped, I can get the master cylinder up out of the way and work on it. Yeah, this has literally been it. Hence why I haven't been filming. Thank God for that. You see that monster grate? It's twisted up like a bloody pretzel. All right. All in all, not a terrible run actually, to be honest. It's a bit of a pain in the backside with that master cylinder, but I'm not going to hold it against the car. It's been in there probably the entire time the car's been on the planet. The fact that we were able to pop that master cylinder up out of its moorings after all those years in there, with the pedal and with the line removed, says to me, that's pretty seized, yeah. Yeah, fair diagnosis. Tomorrow we're going to get the new master cylinder in. Well, we're going to get the old master cylinder out first. We're going to get the new master cylinder in, and I'm going to order a new master cylinder line down to the clutch slave and the flexi. And lorry. Once the hard line arrives, we'll get that fitted, and fingers crossed, we should have a clutch. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hello, it's the next morning. Yeah, it's pretty rammed in there, I'm not gonna lie. Everything is so seized, I can't get to the pin. Theoretically, this should be quite simple. Get the pin off the shaft, and away we go. That stud is so bent. But we're gonna need to get this out of the way before we can assess how to sort that out. Getting to it from underneath is not a possibility, I don't think. I've got my face back in the carpet again. Man, there ain't much room to work. Oh, minis are easy to work on. Yep, okay, okay, fine. Wriggly. Let's, can we not? Can we not? Down. Fuse box looks easy to get to. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what little caveat there is to that job. I can see the split pin. Let me just give you guys some perspective. That is the space I have available to work in. Okay, so I don't want to hear it. Oh yeah, what you need half a bean can, gaffer tape that to a socket, put that next to the master cylinder and go umagaga, and it just pops off then. Anybody knows that. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Do you know, if British Leyland had gone under because of their inability to terminate cables without making them sharp, I'd have actually been okay with that. I have stabbed myself on everything in this engine bay. Their cables just don't have any. Listen. That's it. Okay? I had one of your mates in here a while back, around Christmas time. We had to have a similar word. I don't know what it is with your lot, but that'll do now, all right? We've got things to be getting on with. I just want you to know where we stand. Yeah, the trouble is, the pin is also a congealed ball of rust. God almighty, is it any wonder they didn't get anything done in the factory having to do jobs like this? Can you imagine putting this together? Like 15 seconds to do it. No, I'm all right. Right, I presume that notch, that's it. I presume that notch. I'm trying to shake up the camera angles a little bit, try and make it look a bit more like I've got a guy that films for me. I haven't, by the way. I have a tripod. I have a very good tripod, but it is a tripod nonetheless. Tripods can't walk around. Well, not these ones. The ones on War of the Worlds can. They're terrifying. Have you seen them? Jesus Christ. Hammerhead's getting loose. That's better. Ooh. Buddy, let's not do this, all right? Oh my God, please. Wowza. Okay. So all that, and it popped off the saddle around the pedal. But the good news is I can now get down there fully and get a tool on it. What a pain in the ass that was. Sure enough though, that is seized absolutely solid. Well, at least it was worth doing. So, yeah, the end of the rod is up there. That guy. That's deceiving though, because it looks like you could just reach on in and grab it, right? No. Hopefully, with a little more access, we might be in with half a chance of driving that out. Right, will it go with just a tap-a-tap-tap? No, no it won't. Yeah, I mean, that shouldn't need that much of a thwack. What were the odds that we were ever going to get that out in situ, eh? So old mate is not happy. The brake pedal and the clutch pedal sit in the vehicle side by side. They share a spring which wedges up against the bulkhead and then just hooks around the pedals. There's a pin goes through and immediately hits the fan motor. I was able to cant everything round and pop the pin out like that. How am I going to get it back in? Yep. Give us a clean. That's better. Is it the right colour? No, I didn't have any black. Right, nice new pin. I'll check we fit. Happy days. I can't see that seizing up anytime soon. So let's try it in our master cylinder. Wildly better. Come on. Really enjoyed that. We're done. No, we're not. I've got so the pedal's back in. Something I now need to do is straighten that stud that's bent. Then I need to check that the nut's going to do up without taking 4 hours to do up. I'm going to say it now. If you want to save yourself a load of heartache, get under the dashboard of your Mini and hose everything up there down with WD-40. Just show it you care. I think we're all going to hug our clutch pedals a little tighter tonight.
Right, that's enough lollygagging. I decided I was going to clean up the bulkhead and blast it with some anti-rust primer and just a top coat of some blue, just to pretty it up and stop it from rusting. So, looked alright in the end.
Alright, we're rust mitigated for now. Straighten that stud. As you can see, the gasket dropped straight on it, so we're all good on that front. With the stud, just 8mm socket over it so that you don't damage the face of the stud. Extension bar and just tweak right as rain. Run the nut up and down it, so that can now be done up by hand. So hopefully the reassembly shouldn't be as bad. This is going to go terribly. What am I on about? We need to give that bleed nipple down there some TLC. The hard line still hasn't showed up. Bollocks. Huh. All right, we're gonna have to try and finagle something with this hard line and just make sure the master cylinder works. I can come back in and dip that down in there when it shows up. It's a bank holiday weekend, so that makes sense. Okie dokie, let me show you what I've done. I need hard line down from the red bit to the now blue bit. Obviously I'll clean all that out. And then I gotta get on that bleed nipple there. So first thing I'm gonna do is blast a load of ACF 50 over that and have a fag. We should be able to, for the most part, gravity bleed this now because there's no air in our master cylinder. And we should have a clutch. You guys can help me see if the clutch works. Pray to the good Lord Girling that this hasn't been reefed on when it was last done up. Ooh. Hopefully, we should have brake fluid soon. Oh, I feel like things are moving. Do we have brake fluid? What did you guys see? Was it exciting? Annoyingly, my leg doesn't bend that way, so I can't look. This doesn't need to be bled perfectly because, like I said, I need to throw a hard line in this. Just for now, to figure out if we have an operational clutch. Again, we don't want to go crazy tightening that down. I just need it to work, so do me a favour. Keep an eye on that guy, right? It should move.
Great stuff. Lovely job. Right, more on that later on.
I mean, it's in the same place it was in before, so did it work? You guys aren't very verbal today, you know that. Let's take a look at our fuse box then. Anybody who took my semi-joking thing about skipping to doing the fuse box first, you're going to want to go back, because that was a journey. I don't really know what the problem is with this fuse box. I'm seeing a lot of corrosion. I might have to ask Steve, because I'm not sure. There doesn't seem to be anything obviously wrong, but that doesn't mean that there isn't something wrong. Now, something I would very much like to do, in the interest of being a bit Gucci about it, is see if this cover will fit on this aftermarket fuse board. Oh. No, that's a shame. Would have been nice to keep the original Lucas cover on it. You know, just to pre-warn anyone that dares venture under this bonnet. Fingers crossed, this is a little bit less of a pain in the arse than that master cylinder was. Gentle. Please don't make that sound ever again. Now the fun bit. Separating all of this biscotti. Why does this Mini keep dropping my tools? Hello there. Oh, yeah, we got melted terminals. Okay, fair enough. I somehow feel that I don't need to go and ask Steve what was wrong with it. Alright, in case I chopped it out of the intro, by the way, Steve is the guy who does my MOTs around the back. That's where this car came from. They're just very busy. They diagnose quite a lot of this, which is good. Okay. Shit. Right. Green first, purple next, green with an orange trace, and then red with a black trace. Yeah, that's just disintegrated on me. Oh, we got the green death. Okay. I can't put this on that. We need to clean that. That's roached. Nobody moves, nobody gets hurt. Whoa, that's green. It's a nice colour, actually. I love this style of connector. Listen to the click. Proceeds to not do it at all. Oh, that's the good stuff. What I'll do is I'll keep that connected to the fuse board, because then I know where that is going to go when I've repaired that. And again, tuck and roll. All right, so we need to repair one wire, and then theoretically we can stab the fuses in, put the battery on, and see if we've got electrics. Look at the state of that fuse box. Hammered. These glass fuses are pretty hardy, in fairness. If anything, these suffer with the adverse problem where they tend to melt rather than go pop. So, right. There's all four. Battery time. Let's see if I can put my money where my mouth is with regard to the battery. That's our negative, that's pretty bad. I have to get in touch with the owner. That battery strap there, not happy at all. Oh I said in the garage. Thank you. We're going hot. First flick of the key is always a strange experience. It's like the car's been asleep. I didn't mean to do that, but I'm pleased. Pleased and generally pleased. This is completely dead. Completely dead. That's weird. Tighten down the battery connections. Yeah, that's a good sign. So, no warning lights. Right, we're ignition on. 0. Hazards? Oh. Okay. Oh, listen to the relay. No defrost, no brake test, no blower motor, no anything on the dash. Now, the question is, considering we've got a completely happy starter motor, by the way, that's very exciting, the compression sounds excellent, are we looking at a Duff ignition switch? Battery's clearly happy because it's able to spin the starter over with gusto, frankly. So that's all good. We're going after ignition live specific gremlins because I'm not convinced old mate is walking the walk. He talks the talk, but there is very little walking of the walk going on. So that's time to dig up a British Leyland wiring diagram then for a Mini. Yeah, bye, see you in a minute, bye. All right, wiring diagram acquired. I don't need no number to tell me that that's the battery. So, positive goes all the way to that. Number 4 is our starter solenoid, that makes sense. Then, there's a tap at that point. Now what that means is that it's getting positive power whether the solenoid's engaged or not. 38, so that should be a brown wire. And I would imagine that is our power feed. So we've got a couple of positions available to us. One is our start position, which will be this guy here. That's what triggers the solenoid. What that's representing is pushing across these two contacts. So that's our trigger wire for our solenoid, which is, it's making me go cross-eyed. Position 1. That is, WR would be white and red. Yeah. So white with a red trace. So 2 should be our ignition live. We click on ignition live, white, go to our fuse box, pin 3. So I don't think anything's happening on our ignition live circuit. So a couple of potential options is we have a blown fuse across pins 3 and 4. We can go and have a look at that in a minute. Or we're not getting any power to that fuse. Again, we can test that in a minute with our meter. That connection also goes to our instrument cluster. Interesting. Doesn't say what color wire that is. Oh, but let's think that it might be white. All right, so we'll probably, if we were to look on the back of the ignition barrel, this guy here, I would like to think we're going to see a pair of white wires crimped to the, probably to the same connector. So again, is our connector suspect? We also will have multi-plugs somewhere. The connection there could be suspect. So first place I'm going to start is the back of that ignition switch. I'm going to get my meter on there, see if we're getting 12 volts at this terminal. If we're not, I'm going to backtrace, but we already know that we're probably getting battery power there because our hazard lights work. It's an assumption, granted, but it's a reasonable assumption. So, first place I'm going to look is here. This is the most likely to me personally. Let's go there first. Right, I know the camera angle isn't exactly an aesthetic, as the kids these days say, but you can see. We've got a damn screw here. Look it. You see this? We've got the predicted set of wire colours, which is good. I feel like my arse is hanging out, which is less good. What is this, Mickey Mouse? Come on. Oh, that was the worst. That was awful. Just to the point where you feel like you're going to shatter the plastic. then it lets go. Nice, thanks Brielle. I love you guys, but wow. Nice, actually got a connector within easy reach. We want to be seeing volts on this one. That's our ignition live. I stole this from my old job. This was being used by people who didn't know how to use it, and it really annoyed me to see such a nice tool be so badly mistreated, so I freed it. We've been good friends ever since. At this brand wire, we should have 12 volts. Next door is is the White family. Keep up, will you? It's a Breaking Bad joke. Right. God, that framing is just mint. Right. So we're on the White, and we're grounded on nothing. We're getting no volts. Question is, why? Interestingly, we've obviously got power to the contact that controls the starter solenoid, which is white with a red trace. This dude, white with a red trace. White with a red trace. We've got power there. Green and white is live with the position 1. So you have position 0, which is off. Position 1, first stage, I'm not patronising you. Position 2, it's the next stage. And then position 3. I think position 1 on a better equipped car would probably be the accessory. So you pop that on and it would just keep your radio on, for example. Trying to apply some logic to this is Lucas wiring, so you can only do what you're able to do. 2 white feeds, that guy scoots over to the coil. So, no 12 volt there, no spark, car won't start. So immediately, that tells us something. So, what's pin 4 telling us? 18. I just drew all over the back of my neck, didn't I? Right, 18 is a brake light switch. So G, just a bundle of G's. NWA, we like. Bundle of G's going to the other side of that fuse. I think pin 4 is the receiving pin, and the reason I say that is all the stuff on the other side of the fuse are all green wires, and it's all stuff you would expect to have come on with the ignition, like the wiper motor, for example. We should be able to force an ignition live by shorting between. Right. This is where a degree of responsibility comes in on my part, I'm afraid. I can show you what I've done and explain. I can't show you how I've done it. Because in the wrong hands, that information could be used to acquire a car, shall we say. Sadly, I'm going to have to censor the colours of what I talked about. Being honest with you, if you were listening, you'd be able to suss it out. You'd be able to suss it out. I just don't feel right putting that information out there. I will say, these wiring diagrams are available online free of charge. It took all of about 6 minutes to get hold of one. So, it's a tricky one. I'm trying to show you guys how to fix your car. Unfortunately, part of that comes with showing you how the wiring under the dash works. And unfortunately, the right kind of scumbag would use that information to take your car from you, which is why you should always fit a kill switch and always have a backup plan for the kill switch. Secure your shit or it's going to go missing, all right? You see that? We've got all our stuff back. Now I'm going to put the ignition on. No, I'm not, because it's not working. I'm going to put the indicator on, and we're going to see when I do that if our indicators work. Indicator top right. I'm gonna just
Sure enough, with a nice healthy dose of contact cleaner and rattling that key back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until I felt like I was going to lose my mind, the ignition switch woke up.
Do you know what? I'm going for it. I want to see if this thing will start. You want to join me? We'll see if it will just on some cold start. Little brake clean, a wing and a prayer. Will it just cough? I'm not expecting it to drive me all the way to Portsmouth or anything, but it's got 12 volts. technically we may have spark. Ah, the carburettor's seized solid, what a shame. Oh no, not like this. Screwing the top off this carb a minute. I mean, I'm not surprised it's seized, considering the state of the engine bay. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself, I know, but this makes all of the hassle with the clutch master cylinder worth it. Signs of life so soon after pissing around like that with that clutch. Great. It is great. Oh, there it goes. I tell you what, that's not as rotty as I was expecting it to be. Brilliant. Right, tickler valve working. The tickler valve's working. There's no crap in the carb. There are signs of life at the base of the carb. Are we sliding now? Nah, see, something ain't right with this piston. That oil's as old as the hills. Okay, something's not right with our piston. All right, he's happy-ish. We are going to be rebuilding the carburetor. It stinks of stale fuel. But I don't care about any of that right now. I just want to see if this guy will fire off. Because if it will, what a satisfying end to the week. All that moxieing around, trying to get that clutch reservoir in. All of it. And we end with a first start. Wouldn't that be such a great part one? Come on, you're a Mini, you can do this. You've got an A series of wisdom in you. No, that is not. There we go. Dashpot was sitting on the piss. Oh, this is exciting. This is very exciting. Let's just check we're still lifting our piston. Yep, actually it's not as seized as it was initially. Bit of choke and see. Feel like waking up, buddy? It's been a while, hasn't it? We got that ignition switch perfect now. Oh my God, it fired! Yes! Choking a bit. It's quite warm today. Oh, that was so close then. I believe in you, come on. Ah, battery's just not quite up to it. All right, that's fine. You've done very well. Well, all in all, that was bloody successful. And it fired. It only went, but it fired. It means it has the capacity to fire again. I'm gonna come back tomorrow with some fresh fuel. I reckon this will, just on its own. Fresh fuel, I think this is gonna go. And then a test drive. Why not? Rude not to. I love driving them when they're like this. Fresh out of the barn. There's something about it. So, I'm game if you are. But we need to go and put that battery on charge. I felt that was a bridge too far. It was a bit too much cranking. Sorry, I got excited. Can you blame me? This is why I love what I do. Lovely. Good lad. All right, so it's the next day. We've got a fresh jar of fuel. They don't come in jars, do they? Sorry. Fresh jerry can of fuel. What I want to do before I do anything is whip the fuel line off, crank on the engine and see if the fuel pump's actually working and if it's supplying fuel. Two reasons. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Let the fuel filter do the work. If you drain the old fuel out and it leaves a load of sediment and then you just put 5 litres in to see if it will run, you're just increasing the concentration of the crap that the fuel system's going to suck up. If we can dilute and burn that fuel, far better for everybody. The fuel doesn't get wasted, the engine gets to burn it, we get a little bit more fuel, we get a little bit more run time. I don't know, I'm an advocate for just putting it on top of that. So I'm just going to whistle that fuel line off quick. This still leaves us with a potential issue of a sticking needle and seat. I'm already seeing fuel, which is very encouraging. It smells iffy, but not to the point where I don't think it will burn. Just give this guy a little gentle wakey wakey. Just gonna whiz the key over. If that blows fuel everywhere, then we know we're winning. Woofed. All right, that fuel pump is ready, willing and able to go back to work. That's great news. Yeah, there is a bit of a varnishy whiff, but nothing I'm overly concerned about, being level with you. We know for sure that there was something sitting in the bottom of the jet, so I think we just fill her up, fire her up, and I mean, done. Car's done. No, the other thing. Loads left to do, that's what I meant to say. Hello? Excellent. I mean, it might. Good news is, these Minis, baby little fuel tanks, so this might actually overfill it. Got my usual dirty look from the person that runs a petrol station, because I just brim these. I've got no time to be driving back and forth, it's a whole hassle, so I am now filling the vehicle with petroleum distillate. That's a very handsome tree over there. Oh, Robin, come on, drink up. Come on. Oopsie daisy. God, that was almost a through and through. I'm surprised the end of the jerry can didn't end up sticking out the bottom of the fuel tank. Are we behaving in there? Good. Right. And then commence mixing. We're like 3/4 tank. Owner might not even have to stop at a petrol station. I've decided I'm going to call this car Wendell. I don't know why, he looks like a Wendell. Right, choke. Ignition's working, that's a good start. Come on, bud. No way! He wasn't even bothered. He was bothered then. He's a little bit bothered then. Come on, Wendell. Oh, what a good little fella. Right, a little bit of throttle. Right, that's the charge indicator light gone out, so the alternator's working. Oh. It's not even tappety. This car's been sat since 2019. We're having a little bit of a fire, that's fine. I'm just gonna let him do that. What is it? What's the smell? It's normal. Oh, he's picked up. That'll be the ignition system waking up. The plugs have probably just cleaned themselves off. Obviously we're running with no air cleaner at the minute. Not ideal, but better than running with an air cleaner that's potentially full of bits. Well, doesn't that just make the little hissy fit with the master cylinder so much better? Right, we don't want to burn him up. We know that Wendell's cooling system is empty, so we're going to take a look at that. Let that smoke clear. Okay, fella, we're friends. Really impressed. Oh, the good news is the top of the rad is now wet. It's not got water in it. However, this car's been sitting a long time. We already know that Stuart Little had moved in for a bit, so I want to make sure, first of all, I put that fuse box cover back on. First thing I want to do is make sure before I put a load of antifreeze in it, the cooling system's not dropping water for two reasons. One, it's a waste of coolant. Two, and more importantly, shit for the environment. Cats, dogs, whatever, might drink it. Really bad for them. We don't want to play that game. So we're just going to do water up to temp, get the thermostat opening, make sure everything, the heater matrix, the lot, is completely watertight all the way up to the pressure limit. Once we've done that, we can drain the water out, put some antifreeze in. All right, buddy. All right, while Wendell's thinking about that, let's have a look at this air filter, because I would like to not suck an acorn into the carburetor through the engine and pea shooter it out the exhaust, because I think the engine will probably survive, but I don't want to put any of the windscreens out of any of these cars by firing acorns out the exhaust of an old Mini. How are we looking? Oh, air filter's right as rain. There is nothing in there. I can see through it, which means he should be able to breathe through it for the most part. Quite a success. Very, very, very impressed with you, little mate. That was incredible. Like, it fired up like it had been parked yesterday. Very good. Clever little Mini, well done. We can stick the air filter back on. Right, we can pop that breather back on, but the breather hose itself is split wide open, which explains why this engine bay is so oily. We'll probably replace that. It's a 10-minute job. Come on, friend, let's do this again. Let's go. Just on the, he's on the key. All right. The cooling system's not dipping, so I think we're all right just for a test drive. Let's go for a drive. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. All right. What? Please, Wendell. Let's not do this. Come on. All right. Whoop. I think we can get away with no choke now. Should we try? Up. All right. No, 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 no. He's a little grumpy. Right. Do we have gears? Clutch pedal feels awful. Great. We've got second. First, let's gently see. Yes! Brakes. Brakes. We've got brakes of a kind. I can't get over how well this thing runs. All right. Let's go for a drive. Gentle drive, we still need to do those wheel nuts. Steady. Oh my goodness. What a lovely little car. The brakes need some work. What can I say? Third. It's not even hesitating. This car's been sitting for 6 years and it drives like it was parked up yesterday. This is incredible. The steering feels amazing. What a lovely little car. Except the clutch, but that's my fault. That's all right, we will sort that. Gentle. Oh, he didn't like that. All right, fine, fine, fine. That's no dramas. Okay, so sit rep, we've got half a tank of fuel. We've got normal on the temperature gauge, nothing's getting hot. So, horn's still dead. Indicator working. Indicator's working. Don't know if our high beams are working. Wipers? All right, yeah, we still got some electrical work to do, but he drives. He rips. It's like it hasn't been off the road. I cannot get over the way this car drives. All right, let's go. Let's do a mini turning circle, shall we? Round, lovely. Brakes need some help. Definitely want to go over the brakes and just, oh, Wendell, we've lost first, there we go. That's the clutch. We just need to bleed that properly, that's fine. I'll do that when the hard line shows up. Well, all in all, I'd say that was a roaring success. Being honest with you, this video is probably getting on for an hour long now, so we're gonna have to call it there, but please do join us next time when we get to have some more fun with Wendell. We'll find out what's going on with those last few electrical gremlins, and then see if we can send him on his way. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe as well if you haven't already. It means a lot, it really does. Anyway, I'm gonna go and enjoy some more A-Series gearbox wine. I'll see you later.